a run like NRG in the lowers and go all the way to the grand finals, it's 100% possible for these boys.
We'll find out here in a moment. Best of 5 with Spacestation in the orange, Soul in the blue. We'll see who gets to move on today. Arsenal looking to find Stealth on his backboard. Pass out to Shay, now back to the midfield for Parth. Shay, one more pass. Parth trying to get it past him. Reddles will find the stop. Here's Arsenal. He's looking to connect with Reddles on the far side of the field. Actually just goes for the shot himself. Takes it right to the net. Flip for reset for goal number 1.
Yeah, and these are the moments we're waiting for whenever you watch SSG play Arsenal. He's got Reddles on the side, and this is why the defense for Soul is a bit confused. They think he's going to go for that outlet pass across, but instead Arsenal can just take it himself. He has the mechanics, gets the flip reset, the air dribble all the way into the back of the net. Arsenal, that's the best start, and a good one for SSG.
Spacestation first on the board. The stylish plays. Yes, that dual threat offense. Oh dear, Typical gets up, gets one block. Arsenal's got to get another one. No! Oh dear, Spacestation's defense caught with their pants down.
Now I just have mixed feelings. We had the best start we could ask for. Then now come out here, and Arsenal is a bit confused. Typical doesn't have the best touch, and that's just a free one. Give it up to Soul. The pressure makes the defense come down in a bunch of crumbs. Excuse me, I was gonna say crumbles, but with the mix of crumbs. Man, I don't even know. This is how I feel about SSG. They make me even stumble over my words, which is almost every team.
It's demoralizing to have scored such a fantastic goal for goal number 1 and then to lose the lead in such silly fashion.
Yeah.
Soul's happy to take it. Demolition. Oh, they looked at the bump. Nearly. If that shot had been on target, that was the lead for Soul.
I mean, I was going to say Arsenal. He worked so hard to get that first goal as well with the solo play, and then you concede in the worst way. Still holding on to some pressure against Soul, but SSG, it's the clutch moments that I think I doubt the most for these boys. Whenever they go into Game 5, we've seen 3 Game 5s so far for SSG throughout both regional events, and SSG has lost every single one of them. So if you get pushed into a Game 5 situation against them, the odds are in your favor.
Try to find a way to clutch it up. Reddles to the outside. Gonna lose that ball to Parth. Pressuring Typical in net right now. Typical on the Maverick. Rare card choice you see here. As Shay gonna try and take that one onto the backboard. Arsenal gets in his way. Arsenal bumped off the ball. It's all up to Reddles, and the third man picks up control. Tries to get to Arsenal, who looks for bumps in the front of the box. Doesn't find anything on his rotation now. Parth to take it onto the backboard once more, and Reddles with the counter touch. Typical to stall, catch, and dribble. Got it up and just lofted on the plate for Reddles there. Haven't lost control of the ball. The ball will bounce a few times in midfield. Neither team really gaining control yet. Here comes Typical, though, with a corner boost grab. We'll go into the challenge against Shay.
Yeah, SSG want to go and force these solo plays against Soul. You can tell every single touch from a defender out is going to be close to himself. Like Arsenal right here in this corner, he takes it upon himself to have a lighter first touch. Even Typical now, they just want to dribble out of the defensive end and hope to force a mistake on that 1v1 game. It worked with Arsenal on that flip reset air dribble. Will it work again for Typical and Reddles?
Typical dismounts the wall, loses control. Shay takes over, and he's looking to put it in with the dunk. Oh, there was 2 goalies. Didn't matter. 2-1 Soul.
Maybe Gibbs has the 800 IQ pick going for Soul, because Stealth, he's definitely reassuring us that was the right choice. What a dunk right in front of SSG's net.
Oh, wow. Which one you like better, the Arsenal air dribble or the Shay the Stealth dunk?
I don't even know. They're both on the same level. We had Arsenal. He doesn't even need to get a dunk because he outplayed the defender so hard, but then Stealth, you outread the defender and know where he's going to get that final touch. I mean, both of them fantastic.
2 goalies in net, too, to beat their Stealth. Takes the lead. And Soul looking to try and secure game number 1, but they lose it on the backboard, and they don't finish it off on the fall down. Reddles will tie the game.
Oh, and so far it's been this aerial gameplay from SSG that can't be matched from Soul. And you can tell he's trying to get some kind of touch off the backboard, but can't find one. It's an easy follow-up.
1:55. Left to go in game number 1. Who's going to set the pace for the match? Parth takes to the sky. Reddles has the counter, and he's got 2. Now a pass in the midfield. Stealth picks it up first. Shay running low on boost, tries to wave dash into the box, but Typical just keeps it up on the backboard. Shay won't be relevant to the plate just yet. Has to rotate back around now. Coming in out of his box. There's Arsenal to the sky. Can he get a second one here? Looks for the reset, but Not going to find anything. Stealth now to the corner. Typical stall one. Shay with a miss, and Parth has to fall back quickly. Stealth tries to pick up the ball on his rotation out, and actually gives it to Parth now. Parth versus Reddles. Reddles with a block. Demolition onto Stealth. Reddles versus Shay now, and then challenge goes neutral. Shay to try and pick it up, puts it right to the dead center of the field, and now Arsenal onto the backboard. This one going to drop. Parth off the backboard will connect with Shay. 2 touches back to midfield. Nice transition play from Seoul.
Yeah, and the question is, how will SSG go and approach this defensive Seoul? Because they've had all the pressure so far, most of the possession. And typically they go for those backboard hits, but now Parth, maybe a double tap opportunity. He didn't have any boost. If he had maybe 2 pads, he could have gotten up and had that opportunity. But unfortunately, didn't have anything in the tank. SSG kind of get away with murder here. Still tied up.
Yeah, and Reynolds' front box positioning means there's no follow-up touches for the rest of Seoul.
Yeah.
As he clears it to the side, and now here comes typical infield pass shot, dead center in, and SSG's got the lead back, but can they hold on to it?
Yeah, and this is just threading the needle so far for Typical. He had taken it himself out of the corner. Nobody wanted to challenge him, so basically gave him all that space in the corner and also let him go towards the midfield. Somebody has to rotate in at that point. Typical, he knew exactly what to do. Get that midfield pass in quick. Nice little follow-up. SSG, it wasn't the best start, but they've definitely clutched it up.
Yeah, 20 seconds, got to hold on. We've seen buzzer beaters already today. Shay with a miss. Arsenal falling back. He's just going to back pass to Reynolds. Just hold on to ball control. They get it around Parth, who is challenging. Now Stealth, less time to work with. He takes it to the wall, wins the challenge. It's to the box. Arsenal will have control. Can Stealth get it off of his hood?
Maybe.
Loose it in front of the air. Parth puts onto the backboard, and it's hit away from Shay and into the ground. Arsenal's touch lofts it. Typical's just up to try and kill this and take away any clean shots. He'll do that just fine. SSG take game number 1.
I was a little bit scared for SSG, not gonna lie. I thought Gibbs had empowered everybody on Seoul, gave them the confidence that they needed. You know, if I'm on Seoul and I hear Gibbs, because Gibbs was always against me when I was playing, okay? If I hear Gibbs pick me, I'm finally getting some confidence on the field, but it wasn't enough against SSG. Even with that explosive first start, they had been able to finish it out. But Seoul, I'm impressed, especially with that dunk from Stealth. That was a good one.
They got some good goals. I mean, the first one was, you know, a little bit of SSG, what are you doing in your own box? But the second one, stylish stuff, definitely a momentum builder, a confidence builder, which is so important against a team that is as legendary as Space Station is. Even when they're on their weekdays, we as the analysts like to be like, oh, you know, Space Stations are they washed now, right?
Yeah.
But none of these players are thinking that. They're like, this is Space Station. We've watched them clap everybody. They've clapped us before, right? So to get that confidence for Seoul, I think is so important here. I'm excited to see what they do here in game 2.
Oh, and it's just been in the regional events too. SSG, as much as you want to, you know, hate on them and their performance so far in the winter split, they did well in the grid week 2. They made it to the finals against NRG. Didn't win, but I think they pushed it into a game 7. So there's been a solid performance, you know, off of the regionals. And if you're just going strictly off of grid performances, but SSG, they need to show up, like I said, when it matters. If you get into that game 5 situation or drop down to the lower bracket, you need to make a run like an NRG.
Well, game number 2, Space Station took the lead. Seoul will look to bounce back. Get a game of their own. Arsenal past 1. Now following this out, looking for a similar goal to goal number 1 from game number 1. Now here's Parth through the air on the counterattack. Got a flip reset, but is flying away from the ball. Will not be able to use it. Typical to pass outwards to Reynolds into the corner. Typical following this. No boost to chase this. And Parth will find Stealth. I've really appreciated Seoul's transition game.
Oh, yeah.
Across both of these. They are not wasting their time getting the ball back into Space Station territory. Just what happens after that.
Oh, nice decisions as well from Shi to go for those 50s, force out something a bit safer. Still trying to get this midfield pass. It connects, and they've got the first one.
Infield pass into coverage. Watch Shay. He's being followed wheel to wheel by a defender here and still sneaks it past Arsenal. Typical doesn't quite react in time. Excellent goal.
The fact that you even mentioned that, we had man coverage from Arsenal who read the passing play, but Shay was one step ahead of him. That was maybe a few milliseconds. Could have made the difference, and he still was able to read his teammate a little bit better than Arsenal did. Seoul, really solid first goal. They've got to keep up that passing if they want to beat SSG.
Yeah, SSG is trailed a few times, or I think they trailed at one point in this series. I'm completely blank on now. I think they maybe have actually had the lead or been tied at all points now that I'm rethinking that there. But we'll see how they play from behind now.
Yeah.
The Seoul has that first goal in game number 2. Parth taking control. Arsenal past one, and here's the pass inwards. This is on the back. We're going to need some help. They try to get it off. Arsenal couldn't sneak it under the crossbar, and they beat Typical in the midfield. Parth with the dribble now.
Oh, no way.
Midfield's got options. Just flicks one. Reynolds gets up in time, gets the block, and now looks for the clear.
And we're just getting a counterattack war on the field so far. We've had SSG have some good movement down the field. Transition game, you mentioned it earlier, has been fantastic for Seoul, but now it's getting a bit cluttered. You can see a double commit on the field in the midfield side. Still, SSG are moving it back, and this ball has basically done laps around the field wave. And still the passing coming out of SSG. They haven't gotten their first one. A couple of good looks on net.
And the follow-up passing, solid and excellent defense there from Stealth, but I really don't feel like they should have needed to pass there. They had a completely open net, 2 players, could not find a way to get that first touch into the back third, into the net. A free goal for SSG comes and goes, and now Shea and Stealth looking for offensive pressure.
I mean, just for SSG alone, the shooting percentage is what they need to fix. They always have shots on net like this, and as I mentioned it, the shooting accuracy has got to get picked up. This is what we want to see. I mean, if you want to look at the golden striker from a few seasons ago, Typical, the man only scored 13% of his shots, and he had 52 shots. That's 7 goals in the first Winter Regional. We need more. If you take out a player, you're finally going to get an easy shot on net. Typical's going to put it away.
Yeah, he's not going to miss that one. It'd be more difficult to miss this shot than it would be to make it. But I 100% agree with you. That was what we saw yesterday in their match versus Alpine as well. If just like 3 or 4 more of the goals that were a pixel off went in, easy series for Space Station. And here again, they would have a lead already in theory.
Well, even at the beginning of the series, we had seen a crazy play from Reynolds. Typical's going to get it back-to-back. I mentioned his shooting accuracy. I think he heard me. I think he actually
heard you. Yeah, Typical's like, all right, Turtle, stop talking. Here you go. I'll dribble 2 defenders. 2-1. Space Station back on top now. How does Seoul respond?
It's been with those solo plays.
Yeah, the solo, dude, I want to see some of them too. Let's get another stealth dunk going. Because, I mean, as much as we want to talk about Space Station's accuracy kind of being a problem, they've been on offense for the last minute and a half, and it's only a matter of time for a team as good as Space Station. You can miss 6 shots, and as long as one of them eventually goes in, it's worth. Here's Typical.
Well, then you can consider the demo factor as well. Now a monster clear from Typical, who's been activated on a different car.
That's the play off of Arsenal. Back Typical into this corner, and now pass to Parth. Lofts it. Stealth would love to chase that, just doesn't have enough boost, and Arsenal will take it away from him. Parth half flipping back into his own back wall and piles up with Shea. He's telling me all of the Stealth except for Shea. Comes down on the recovery, gets a block. Nice play, but taken over by Typical. And Parth has to play defense. 1 minute remaining for Seoul. Trailing by 1 game. Excellent goals throughout the course of this series. But still, gotta find a lead and a win, and there we go. The outfield pass again. Infield passes for Seoul here in game 2.
Yeah, that's the key, is taking this ball inwards towards the middle of the field. You can always have a player, and I love Parth. There was actually a double commit on the field from his teammates to get that pass off, but Parth stayed there, understanding the risk and knowing they needed to get one with only under a minute left. 52 seconds. They got the tied up goal, but they still have to withstand all of this pressure from SSG Wave.
Yeah, they got to find the lead. They've spent so little time on offense. The fact that they've gotten 2 goals is a miracle. Reynolds looking for a bump on Shea. Shea gets up in front of the box. Won't get the block. A demolition on a Typical could open up some space. Arsenal's touch. We'll turn back around on this quickly. Stealth takes it away from him. Into the box. Up against Typical. Bobbed off it. Parth has Shea on the outside. Just sends the shot right away. Reynolds will get it. Now Stealth looking for the pass down to Shea. Third infield pass. This one just a bit too far forward. Shea won't pick it up. 18 seconds left. Tie game in game number 2. Parth sets it up for Stealth. He goes straight for the air dribble.
Oh my.
Onto the backboard, pinches across. Typical will chase it. Reynolds already out of the box. Very aggressive positioning. 5 seconds left. Space Station might take this one away in regulation. Bounce it off. Reynolds too aggressive, and we'll go to overtime.
Oh, and SSG had that bounce out. In that situation, you want it to go a little bit towards the midfield, but it was too hard of a hit off the backboard. Stealth has been the MVP so far out of Seoul, getting those air dribbles. I thought for a moment we'd see another infield pass in the final seconds, but this has been a close one, to say the least, Wave Punk, and I really fully expect to see something out of Stealth if it's going to be a Seoul win.
Shea got bumped out of his net by Stealth, but still managed to put a bumper onto the ball. Now still falling into the corner. Arsenal through one, out to Reddles. Sypical in the third man has his ball for free right now over the top of Shay. Lost control, picks up boost, wins a challenge against Stealth, but Parth will pick it up on the looseness that follows.
Wow.
Now Shay into this corner, sets it up on one. Can he dismount it? No. Sypical takes it away from him, keeps the ball glued on the wall. Parth into the midfield, but Shay not going to be in a position to use it. Neither is Stealth. Overtime positioning, going to be playing a little bit wider, and now Stealth onto the backboard. Sypical's up for it, blocks one. Shay thinks about it, but he's the last man back. He's got to make the blocks, and Reynolds goes for the bumps. Of course he does. Parth in, gets it off to the side. Shay bought just enough time.
Oh, the timing on the bounce. I think Sypical's waiting to get a stronger hit. The bump had come out from Reynolds. There was a small window of opportunity for Sypical to find some power and get into the back of the net, but instead he waited just a bit too long. The best look we've seen in overtime. Parth trying to get it clear, and still very solo play focused from either team. You can see Shay wants to keep it close, not force anything too risky, and move into the corner.
Shay dribbling two players time and time again there, but the third man staying strong repeatedly here for Space Station. As Parth tries, Reynolds dunks him. It's onto the backboard. Parth gets it to the far side. Arsenal already there on the reach. Shay gonna turn around as Stealth picks it up out of the corner. He and Parth committing in the midfield. Shay again gonna be the third man and have to stall for time. Gets a bump onto one player. Parth had time to rotate back. He'll pick up the ball. And now, trying to dunk Sypical. He stays grounded. 2 minutes into overtime. Space Station wins this. They'll be on match point, one away from knocking Seoul out of the second regional. Pile of players in the midfield here. Shay and Parth just trying to crowd Reynolds.
Yeah. It's such a grounded game as well. I've noticed most teams really want to play that dribble style. Now Arsenal receiving a clear for the first time in a while. We've had Reynolds push in the corners, get some demos. That was their best look. We'll see if the physicality comes out from that man again.
Into the corner, Stealth chases one. Shay might have this ball for free, gets it off to the corner. It's gonna be behind Reynolds. Parth coming in, looking to thread the needle, but they close the gap just in time. Parth now on the back pass to Stealth. He takes it to the sky, but gets demolished. Won't be able to air dribble this one. Now Arsenal on the counter dribble past Parth. He's gonna need some help here. And it gets cleared to the corner. Sypical in, Stealth beats them on that one. Here comes Reynolds. Sypical to extend it over the top of one. Stealth trying to cover up Reynolds once more. Shay rotating out. It's across the field to Stealth. 3:20 into overtime and continuing to play. A nice pass, and oh, wow! They've absolutely got him. Excellent placement from Arsenal will win the game.
And this is what I was asking for. Reynolds got that demo on the midfield player who would have had a solid challenge and instead opened up space now for a midfield pass to come out. SSG off of the back of Reynolds with that aggression gets the overtime winner. Very clean, and it almost looked like a soul play with that infield pass.
It was, yeah. I love the shot, and then you see Shay just commits. He's in the air. He's blocking that first shot.
Yeah.
Slight little touch there at the end, I believe, from Arsenal. We'll push that one into the corner. Beautiful stuff. Yeah. Wonderful play from SSG to finish that one off. And honestly, like Seoul they've got all these wonderful pieces. I question how much they're choosing to go to the solo game though right now. It makes me wonder if they're not aware of where each other are.
Yeah. Because
what we saw them score on two infield passes. The passing plays are working wonderfully. I hesitate. It just makes me wonder why players like Stealth are choosing to go to the air so much when he could just use his teammates when it's been working.
Oh, 100%. I think that's the game plan that SSG want to go. They're trying to lay that trap out. And that's why you'll notice they're playing man coverage a lot. Arsenal on that play where Shay was running in. Arsenal was right on his back because SSG have always been so aware of where the other players are, trying to play the man coverage. Parth comes out here with the solo play and manages to get one off the kickoff.
Nice play from Parth. Did it all by himself.
That's very clean.
Excellent placement. Only place the Sypical couldn't cover after being out to grab boost, and that'll be Seoul with an early lead. We saw them get the lead early in game number 2 as well, but ultimately that one went in Space Station's direction, and Space Station now, again, one game away from tying up this series and moving on in the bracket, knocking Seoul out. So do or die time for Seoul. They've got to reverse sweep Space Station to move on in the bracket.
Yeah, and that transition game from Soul has to be faster because you've got a factor of Reddles and all of his demos, which actually won the previous game for SSG that you have to take into consideration. Now, Stealth from the corners. The man doesn't stop with the mechanics. Shay had the shot on net, saved out from Typical. Man, Soul, as much as you want to discredit them against, you know, SSG already on match point, they have showed up. Wow. But you know who else has showed up? Reddles.
Dude, I mean, just the high aerial offense we've seen a few times. The defender on Soul just not able to find this read. Tie game there from Spacestation. I really wanted Shay to hit that shot just because of what Stealth had done to get him there. Stealth was dancing around Space Station from one side of the field to the other to get that ball lofted in front of the goal, and Shay's shot does go just a little bit. Well, it just didn't go in. I don't remember if it was a wide or if it got blocked, but either way, like, wonderful stuff from Soul. They're showing so many excellent pieces of the puzzle, just yet to string it together into a win.
Oh, definitely. There are signs of greatness out of this team, but on the other side, SSG, their one weakness was the shooting accuracy. That has picked up dramatically. I mean, even take a look at the previous shot from Reddles, finding the right corner, getting it behind the defender, and then the OT winner, who I believe was Arsenal in the previous game. Reddles also dodging a demo. This has been stepped up on almost every level so far from SSG.
Bump game from Soul. Shay's up for this one. Shot wide. Not forcing the defenders to make a play. And yeah, Space Station's accuracy has definitely started to return to normal here in this series against Souls, and if they're able to keep this up for the whole series, the lower bracket is going to be hell. Here comes Stealth. Past one player. Out in front, Shay's up for it. Arsenal's going to block and puts it into the corner. Parth now going to take to the air, see if he can put it on target. And it's just wide. Typical behind two. Shay on the rotation back, pops it back into the SSG box, and then two SSG players bump into each other. Reddles, though, will reground himself and just takes the shot from his own box and puts in the long ranger. 2-1 SSG.
I think Reddles and Arsenal had bumped each other off the backboard. Yeah, from his own team. And then he's also in the best spot to get an interception. It's almost like the game wanted him to realize intercepting those midfield passes would get the most free goal against this Soul roster, who only prioritizes those passes. SSG, that was a fortunate one.
Yeah, that was they got out their calculators on that play, but it gives them the win or the lead, and it could be enough for the win. Typical into the corner, 2:50 left to go. He's gonna just put the pressure on himself. No one there to take the shot. Bumps Parth off the ball. Parth grounds himself and actually gets another touch to block the second man from SSG.
Well, there's always somebody on the backboard from SSG as well. Soul, they struggled to find rotations that go to the backboard, forcing out better clears and managing to deal with this chaotic offense that is SSG. Nobody's on the backboard. Typical could have gotten a double tap. Doesn't want to go for it. Instead, Arsenal taking another shot. Shooting accuracy definitely picked up. Every single hit, it's on net. Wave, they don't stop. It's relentless from Space Station.
It is, and just, I mean, the tight box rotations, right? How you play when you're under duress like this, you cannot make an error. And you saw Stealth there ground himself and then goes into reverse. At that point, he's lost it. There's no way he's blocking this. I don't know how you possibly. I'm trying to imagine, how do I swing my car around to not knock that ball into my own goal as exactly he did. That's such a difficult situation, and it wasn't because of the touch he made, it was because of the way he landed after his last save. So that pressure from SSG, it's gonna get to the teams that aren't as experienced dealing with it, and you saw it right there. 3-1 now, Space Station, 2 minutes left to go.
And just as a reminder, we are in the lower bracket. Loser of this does go home. The winner will go on to face the winners of version 1 as well. And I believe, who's the other team? I'm blanking out. I have it written down here. Version 1 and Sup. That was the team I was trying to remember, because the logo was just plain text font. Team of Sup. So version 1 obviously expected to come out of that one as the victors. We've got Reddles popping off yet again. Another solid play. This accuracy, I think this is exactly what SSG would want. As many shots on net to get warmed up going into the next few series.
Absolutely blasted that goal. And what a setup from Typical, reading the clear and putting it straight onto the backboard. And the moment it came off Typical's nose, Reddles had half the read, and by the time it hit the backboard, he was already in the air. 4-1 now, Space Station. Soul made him sweat at the beginning of this series. We thought we might have a serious ball game, but Space Station figuring out their accuracy problems definitely has helped things out. And then I think they've just got a read on the strategy from Soul right now. They understand what's been working for them. They're blocking infield passes as much as they can. Get into demolitions that they are always going to be good at with a player like Reynolds on the team.
That's the thing I wanted to mention was the aggression from Reynolds. We're still seeing it with about a minute left. He's on the backboard hunting down an enemy, which I feel like that's an aspect we've been missing a few times in a few series for SSG is Reynolds, that demolition factor. We needed that. We've got it here. That's why it's so effective and why they have so much space against this Seoul roster, who has not looked bad by any means. Stealth in particular has had a fantastic day, but it's not enough to take down the three-headed beast that is SSG.
Yeah, no, we mentioned yesterday we thought Reynolds maybe having a bit of a quieter day. Definitely coming back alive and being the player everyone knows him to be. Nearly put that one in. Doesn't need the goal anyways. 20 seconds left. And I mean, the thing that just... I've talked a lot about the transition game in this series because there keeps being so many good examples of it, but the difference between Space Station and Seoul, they get the ball, 2 touches later, the ball's in the enemy territory. Space Station, one player, sometimes one touch is enough to completely nullify the development that we were seeing out of Seoul.
Yeah.
They were so strong just by themselves in the midfield, approaching from weird angles. Not a problem. Space Station, 3 up, 3 down. They'll take down Seoul.
Probably going to go on to play version 1, though, unless Sub can get a surprising upset. That'll be an interesting series later on. But Seoul, fantastic showing from them. I don't think that's anything to be upset about. They had some good looks, some solid infield passes. SSG, how will they develop from this now going forward? I think that's the main question. If we want to see SSG make that NRG lower bracket death run as well, we're going to need to see this kind of shooting and then some. I think it started off a little bit rough. If it was any other team that wasn't Seoul, maybe they were going up against, an Alpine again, or possibly NRG. Those first 2 games could have gone for the other team. So SSG, there's some cracks in the defense, but they have looked a lot more solid here.
Yeah, it definitely took maybe like a game and a half to warm up there, but once they were done, off to the races. Space Station improve in the bracket. Seoul, thank you so much for playing. We'll see you guys next time. And we're going to go to a quick break. When we come back, more lower bracket action happening here on the RLCSX. Stick around. We're having a good time.